Looking for stories that are fresh and new? Dark fantasy, humor, space exploration, time travel, cyberpunk, alternate history, and more. They're in the L. Ron Hubbard Presents Writers of the Future anthology from 24 award-winning authors and illustrators, plus art and writing tips and bonus stories. L. Ron Hubbard Presents Writers of the Future. Buy your copy at galaxypress.com, Amazon, or wherever books are sold.
Looking for something new in dark fantasy, humor, space exploration, time travel, alternative history? They're in the L. Ron Hubbard Presents Writers of the Future anthology. Get the 10-volume box set with 159 stories and full-color illustrations plus 34 articles with writings and art tips. Get the UPRN discount, $125 for the entire box set. That's a $60 savings for that beautiful box set. L. Ron Hubbard Presents Writers of the Future. Go to uprntalkradio.com, click on the link, and place your order.
Hey, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Sunday night edition show of Into the Night with me, Sean Kelly. What a week it's been. I know we're starting about 10 minutes late here, but you know what? We had some technical difficulties. I don't know what's in the air about the technical difficulties. It just seems everybody's phone and computers are screwing up, but you know what? Eventually I'm here. And so I've had a good week. Life has been good. I was a little upset that the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Buffalo Bills were, they moved it to Monday afternoon because I have to work and I won't be able to see it. But you know what? That's all what life is. But tonight, before I go on with our guest, I just want to say that I am on UPRN Talk Radio 105.3 Mississippi, 107.7 New Orleans. And again, that's UPRN Talk Radio. And I am grateful to be on this platform. But now to the show, because since we only got an hour and I'm still doing cards later on before we close up shop. My guest tonight is a friend of mine, a very dear friend of mine. And she has started her own YouTube channel. It's called Virginia's Seeing Through the Veil. And I figured I'd have her on the show, let her introduce herself to you guys out there and see what she's all about. So without further ado, I am going to bring in my friend, Virginia Lanigan from New York. Good evening, Miss Virginia.
Sean. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Be here.
I'm glad you are.
For asking me to be back on your show. It's such a pleasure.
Yes.
Really.
Yeah, it is a pleasure. How's life treating you?
Life is treating me, I have to say, I'm very blessed right now. You know, the YouTube channel that you're talking about is Virginia Seeing Through the Veil. I also have a Facebook group. It is private, though. But if somebody was to look for me and friend request me, I could add them to my group. But I've been doing readings for like quite a few years now. It's going on like 6-7 years I've been doing readings. And when the last time I was on your show, you did a little bit about my bio. I experienced what's called the dark night of the soul. I went through a very dark depression, back in like early 2019. And I called out to God. I said, crying in tears and this depression that I was going in. I lost myself. I was really lost. And I felt like I was losing my purpose in life. More of my background is that I've been a caretaker for my severely autistic son for many, many years. And, I felt like, is this it? Is that all there is to my life is just this? And I needed something else. And when I prayed that prayer and I cried out to God, I'm telling you, the next day I knew I stumbled upon these tarot cards that were in the dresser drawer. I just found them when I was cleaning stuff out, and I was really led to them. And I just laid out the cards and I did a spontaneous reading on myself. And everything, the way I interpreted the cards, I understood what it meant in my life. Everything made sense. And I felt so drawn to doing tarot card readings. So I began doing tarot card readings and practicing on people that I knew. And then from there, I said, you know what? I'm going to try to see if I can meditate on people. So I would just sit in a chair and I would concentrate on someone. And many times I didn't even know, like, for example, there was one time uh, I just was, given a name of someone, and I was able to meditate and see all the stuff connected to the person. And in one of the readings that I did, I actually saw somebody being murdered, and that was really incredible. Like when I was seeing it, it was like a movie reel, and I was saying, "Oh my God, I can't believe what I'm seeing." But the way God showed it to me, I was being protected from being afraid. I was not afraid when I was seeing it. And, when I gave this information back to the person when I did the reading, I knew, like it was given to me in my soul, that I knew that this person was not going to know, and the family was not going to know how this person passed away. And sure enough, that was validated. And also, I had other validations going on with that too. Like I said, God, can you give me, this year that I'm picking up, 1972? Can you please validate that I'm picking up on the correct year? And I'm telling you, within minutes, I turned the TV on, and, within minutes, the year 1972 is being mentioned on the TV screen. And I said, wow, it was just blowing my mind. And then I had a dream validation that also told me that what I said was correct. And then I gave this information to my friends, and actually, the reason was I had boyfriends who I never, I met him for like 2 minutes, said hello to him, met him at a party. I did not know that she even had a boyfriend. This was a friend that we lost connection. We've been talking a long time. And so the, uh, she relayed the reading to him. And then after that, I wound up meeting him, the boyfriend, like a couple of months after that. And it's a lot different when a reading is being given to someone else and they're relaying it versus me telling the person directly.
So,
But
but
he had given
with
her
you seeing
permission to
this,
do that. This was
with you
complete
seeing all
permission.
this, what
Hmm.
what encouraged you to continue doing readings for other people?
Well, for one thing, my mind was blown that what I was seeing, and my mind was really, really blown. And I knew that what I was doing was helping people, validating things for people. There's so many reasons why somebody might want a reading. Maybe they need closure on something. Maybe they need something validated. There's so many reasons, and maybe they need peace about something. And I've often found uh, a lot of people that come to me, sometimes they just need some type of support. A lot of people need like a spiritual counseling type of thing, and I seem to know the answers as far as having insight in a situation. That's where I've been able to help people quite a bit with that type of stuff. I've had a lot of people come to me with like depression issues and things like that, and I've been able to help them get their life back on track. That's
So,
not, it's not in every case though. Sometimes people really just need to go and get counseling itself. Sometimes they need more like a psychologist or something like that. But I have been able to help a lot of people though.
okay, so
Dry throat, excuse me.
when you do readings, now I know when I do readings and when I know a lot of other um, sensitives or psychics, however they want to, advertises themselves. Do you
Yeah.
have somebody protecting you in the spirit world when you're doing this? Or are you just like giving a reading with no
Well,
protection? Do you protect yourself?
I do say a prayer. I do say a prayer. Not, I know some people don't do that, but when I invite spirit in, and that is how I listen. I've had spirit come to me without inviting spirit in. I've had spirit wake me up in the middle of the night to give me messages to people. I've had that happen many, many times.
Mhm.
It doesn't always happen, but it has happened to me where I'm woken up in the middle of the night and, I've had to say like, okay, guys, leave me alone, because I really, my sleep was being disturbed for a while. And, I had a spirit one time in my bed and the way I see them, I don't see them like, there are some psychics that can see them and they you see them like that. I see them in my mind's eye. That's how I see them. And in this one instance, I saw a guy laying in my bed when my eyes were closed. I saw he was laying right next to me, and I told him to leave. I closed
Mhm.
my eyes; he was still there, and I said, "You need to leave. You need to go right now." And I wasn't afraid. Uh, when I told my soon-to-be ex-husband, I am going through a divorce, but anyway, when I was with my soon-to-be ex-husband, uh, I told him about 2 weeks later. I knew he was going to freak out because he was wondering why is she saging the house. I was saging the crap out of my house, and he hated the smell. He said, "Oh my God, the smell! I hate the smell. Why are you doing that?" I said, there was a spirit in the room. I want to get rid of it. So I had to
Was it
let him
like
know why.
was the smell like sulfur?
No, no, it wasn't. No, no, no. He didn't like he didn't like the smell of my sage stick. I was saging my my house at the time was really big, so the sage, I saged just everything. I saged in the closet, every square inch of that house because of what I saw. I was like, I don't want this guy coming back into my bedroom like this. But
Well, well, do you know in my paranormal investigating and in learning from other people, teachers and stuff,
Mhm,
do you know that if you sage your house, sage your rooms, or throw holy water everywhere,
mhm.
it's only a band aid. It's only a
Yeah.
band aid because after the sage goes away and the holy water dissolves or whatever,
Mhm.
that spirit is going to come back in with a vengeance.
Oh, I gotta say, I've been pretty fortunate because that wasn't the case.
Right, right.
That
I'm
wasn't
just
the
I'm
case.
just saying for
Yeah, I
future
mean,
reference.
it can happen to people. Yeah, definitely. You could get a spirit attachment. You could have something negative come into your home, or a spirit just won't leave you alone. That's definitely possible when somebody opens them up to spirit. But I've been fortunate that hasn't happened to me. Um, I do say if I intentionally open myself to spirit, I will say heaven visitors only. I will say that. And there's also, sometimes you don't have to verbally say it, but you could have that intent when you're going into giving a reading to intend that, it's only, for divine guidance and, what you're feeling and your attention is really, really big in what you're doing, so may not have to verbally say a prayer, but what your intention is that you want to only have good spirits coming through and nothing negative.
Right now,
And it's also,
and
you
I'm
know,
just bringing this side to you
mhm,
from past experiences and talking with others.
yeah,
So that, and I'm not saying don't read because I know you're a very good reader. I'm just
hmm,
saying that evil spirits can actually mimic good spirits, and they can mimic people
sure.
forever. I mean, because out there in spirit world, there's no time. They have no time at
I
all.
I had some crazy stuff happen to me. I got to tell you, it was I was for a while developing online. I was in a bunch of different Facebook groups. At one time I must have been in like 5 or 6 different development groups through Facebook. They have groups that people can join if they want to, tap into their abilities. And I would read people's pictures. I would meditate on it, and I would, some of the readings I've done, I wish that I would have permission to use them. But this one mediumship group that I was in was from the UK. They did not give me permission, and I've done so many. I've done so many, and I'm not allowed to use them. But some of the things that I picked up on, like, like a couple of pages in some of those readings, and I got to say I can't even keep count on how many readings I've done. I've done probably in the thousands, and really what I've done is charity work. Many of
Hmm.
these people that I've helped, I've done out of charity. I will not even charging these people. Very, very few people have I charged, and that's just who I am. And I'm still like that too. I still um, have not really, you know, got to that where I want money from people. And I don't know. I guess that's just who I am,
And,
But
and
I
that's,
have nothing against. Let me just say this: I have nothing against people who charge. It's when people really take advantage of other people and
oh
they're
yeah,
charging them
I know many.
astronomical amount of money. I say to myself, that is just unbelievable. That I really feel is wrong, you know. But then the people pay for it. I mean, they're paying for it, so it's on them also too that they're okay with paying $500, 200, whatever it is. If you don't mind, I'm just taking a sip because I'm a little parched.
No, it's okay. You can talk, but
The heat is
no.
here. It's
But
very
you
hot.
have to remember one thing whenever you are doing energy work for somebody,
Hmm.
especially a reading, you know,
Sure.
you have to ask for something back because what happens whenever you do something for a person,
Hmm.
well, the energy's going, okay, and then all of a sudden I give you a reading, right? And I say, no,
Hmm.
I don't want nothing. I don't want no money. What happens? The energy stops.
Hmm.
It's not a
Uh,
continued flow. Now,
right.
what
Hmm.
I do, it's not a continued flow, but what I do is I would ask the person, hey, listen, if you can't pay me, you know, could you at least make a person smile? Or can you help an old lady across the street? Something
Hmm.
helpful. Or if you have a penny, I'll give you a reading. And it's just like you just need to keep that energy flowing.
I,
Hi,
I,
Lisa
I,
Haynes.
I
Good to
hear,
see
I
you.
hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying about that. I will say for myself that it's been very fulfilling for me to help people. No, I really feel like it's my path to be doing this, which is why I'm doing the YouTube channel, why I'm trying to, my goal is to help people to develop their abilities. I'm using that platform for that.
Hmm.
So, if anyone is interested in learning techniques and things that they can do, please subscribe to my channel. And it's Virginia Seeing Through the Veil. That's what it is, in case anybody's watching. Watching. But I love doing what I do. That is why I have done so many free readings for people.
ah,
And that is really
Lisa
why.
Lisa
Yeah.
Haynes says
So,
this is where I'm at. She's in Virginia. Wow, what
oh,
a
you're in
coincidence.
Virginia.
Yeah.
That's cool. I've been to Virginia before.
Lisa
I've been there.
Lisa Lisa Haynes says I could use your help.
Well, you
And
could contact me on Facebook.
what
Contact
you
me on
need
Facebook. You could send me a friend
oh
request.
wait.
A friend request.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Oh,
She's in Virginia. She lives in Portland, Oregon. But listen, everybody out there who's listened to
oh,
Virginia,
okay. You read what she said wrong.
yeah,
That's what you did.
I
You
know
read
I'm
what
a
she said
man.
wrong.
I'm a
Yeah, that's
man.
okay.
I know it. I don't read things right. But listen, everybody, Virginia, if people want help from you, how can they get a hold of you? I'm going to post it in the comment here. How
Yeah, I mean, listen, I am still doing paid private readings. I'm not saying, but here's the thing. People are really struggling, and I understand that. And I'm not charging people all kinds of crazy money to do a reading. It's what they're financially able to pay. So what I would charge for a reading for some people would be like $50, like something like that. But
Uh,
if they're
hey,
financially they struggling, I would accept less than that. You know what I'm saying? Um,
hey, Doreen, good to see you.
because I'm not doing it for the money. In other words, there's people who are doing it and they're doing it merely because they have to. Uh, you know, once in a while,
Hey, Doreen, good to see you. Lisa, you
rolls
says you,
across the floor. Some
Lisa,
people are
you're
doing it
in an,
because they really have to put a roof over their
uh-huh.
head. But I'm fortunate that all of my needs are being met. My needs are being
Right,
met, and I'm
exactly,
very, very blessed. You know,
exactly. But
but
so how can they get a hold of you? How
they
can
can
people
find me
get a
on
hold of you?
Facebook.
I
They
know.
can they can
What's
find
your
me on
Facebook?
Facebook. I also have an email. It's Virginia Lanigan at gmail.com. They can contact me through my Gmail, or they could find me on YouTube, which is Virginia Seeing Through the Veil. They could contact me on there as well. Um, yeah, and I do have a Facebook page too. I mean, I have not had reviews put on it or anything. I haven't really asked anybody to do that, but it's very, very new. I'm just posting. I've made some reels and it's very, very new, like I just said, on Facebook. But like I said, I have a private Facebook group that is the same name, Virginia Seeing Through the Veil. So if somebody found me and they wanted to join my group, I am doing some free mini readings weekly that I will be going on.
So
And
everybody, so I'm gonna
mhm.
type in your YouTube here so everybody can look at it.
Yeah,
Okay,
I appreciate it.
Virginia. Oh God.
And it's
Okay.
it's pretty new. It's only been a few weeks, but I now have enough subscribers now that I can do lives if I want to. I could do longer videos. I was uploading a lot of shorts, so I um, I have different videos on there that talk about all different topics, spirit guides, orbs, you know, um, how to do a psychic reading, empaths, a lot of different topics that are going to be covering everything.
So that is great. I mean, to
Mhm.
go out and
Thank you.
actually do something like that.
And I'm
And
enjoying it. I'm really enjoying what it is that I'm doing, you
as
know.
long as you enjoy what you're doing, I mean, you got the world by the gonads. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
And do I enjoy giving people readings? You know what? I do. But I don't really advertise myself about it. Um,
Mhm.
I did a lot of paranormal investigating, so slowly but surely, maybe I'll get back into it. I don't know. But I've been in this field for so long, and it takes a toll on your body. It takes a toll on your mind.
Sure
But
it does.
how
I wanted
did
to speak a little bit about spirit guides, if you don't mind. If you
I'll
don't
think
mind,
about
because
it.
a lot.
We'll give it about 5 minutes, okay, and then we'll talk about spirit guide.
Give it 5 minutes. Okay.
We'll give it
Okay.
about 5 minutes because of course, I got to do my 1 minute and a half break for you. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Uh, just in
Sure.
case people need to go to the bathroom or get something to drink or smoke a quick smoke, whatever. And I think
Okay.
we're going to do
And
that right now. So I will.
sounds
We
good.
will. We will see you guys in 1 minute and a half.
Very good.
Don't leave.
Looking for stories that are fresh and new? Dark fantasy, humor, space exploration, time travel, cyberpunk, alternate history, and more. They're in the L. Ron Hubbard Presents Writers of the Future anthology from 24 award-winning authors and illustrators, plus art and writing tips and bonus stories. L. Ron Hubbard Presents Writers of the Future. Buy your copy at galaxypress.com, Amazon, or wherever books are sold.
Looking for something new in dark fantasy, humor, space exploration, time travel, alternative history? They're in the L. Ron Hubbard Presents Writers of the Future anthology. Get the 10-volume box set, with 159 stories and full color illustrations, plus 34 articles with writings and art tips. Get the UPRN discount, $125 for the entire box set. That's a $60 savings for that beautiful box set. L. Ron Hubbard presents Writers of the Future. Go to uprntalkradio.com, click on the link, and
Oh, welcome back, everybody. I'm glad everybody got to do what they had to do. And there she is, dancing, singing, and all kinds of good stuff. And Doreen says, and you're a great investigator. Thank you, Doreen. I appreciate that. Thank you. Doreen was in my group. She has her own group now. And
That's
yes,
awesome.
we had a lot of good times, a lot of good investigations. But before I go on talking about what Virginia wants to talk about, since this is, her show for tonight, what I want to do is tell everybody that I am on UPRN Talk Radio 105.3 Mississippi, 107.7 New Orleans, and back to the show. So Virginia, that was an interesting first half of the show on sharing your experiences with psychic and how you got to where you are right now. But as before we left for that commercial, you were saying you wanted to talk about spirit guides. Talk about it.
Yes. So we all have spirit guides. We have multiple spirit guides. From the moment we are born to the moment we pass away, we have guides that are with us. There's one that is given to us that stays with us all the way through, from birth to death. And then there's other ones that come and go throughout our life to different points in our life. Okay. And those guides are archangels, then you have guardian angels, then you have loved ones who passed away that can come in and be your spirit guide. Then you have spirit animals, and then there's ascended masters like Jesus, Mother Mary, Confucius, or like Buddha would be, some of the ascended masters are your spiritual guides also. And some of the ways that our spirit guides communicate to us are through our dreams. So if someone is having, let's say, a repetitive dream, they need to pay attention to that, because those are given to us by our guides that are trying to help us. So they'll keep repeating the message through your dreams. So what people can do is get a dream journal, just get a book, a notebook, put it on the side of the bed, and a pen. And what they can do is they could either say out loud a prayer and say, God, angels, and my spirit guides, please help me to remember my dreams, interpret them, and understand them. And as soon as you wake up in the morning, you have a dream, write it down. And I'm telling you, I've done this myself, and it's helped me recall my dreams, interpret my dreams, and understand my dreams. And it's really, really amazing. The type of dreams that you're going to have are going to be vivid, like really vivid. When I've done this, I've had very vivid dreams, and the symbolism is just crazy. And after saying those prayers, I was able to understand many of the dreams that I was having. And you could do, it's hard to keep this up to do it every single night, but you could do it for a time. You could do it for like a week, you could do it for like 2 weeks, do a dream journal, and it will help you understand the messages that your guides are trying to tell you, to help you get you on going in the right direction. So it's really fascinating when you pray that prayer and the stuff that you get. It's pretty wild.
So how do
It's
you
something people
do
should
you work
consider.
with your guides? Do you know who your guides are?
I I know that one of my guides is my grandfather. I was told that by a meeting, so I do know that. The
Mm-hmm.
other names of my guides, I'm not so sure. Um, I'd say to people, it's not so important to know the names of your guides. That is not the important part. What is important if this is what you believe in. And it doesn't matter what people believe in, but you need to have a belief. You need to believe in something that's greater than yourself, something
Mm-hmm.
outside of yourself, whether it's source energy, some people call it Jesus, Buddha, Confucius, whatever it is that you want to call it, but it's all source energy. And if you believe in God, and this sounds like this resonates to you, and this is something that you embrace and you want to believe in, which is what I believe in because I'm very, very spiritual. You'd want to speak to your guides. I talk to my guides all the time, and like I said, some of those spiritual guides are ascended masters. Some of those
Mm-hmm.
guys are archangels. Some of them are guardian angels.
Mm-hmm.
And
Um,
I
Lisa
had a,
Haynes.
and,
Lisa Haynes has a question for you. What if you don't dream or you can't remember them?
well, this is what I'm saying. For people who cannot remember their dreams, pray, because I was having an issue with dream recall. And I said, God, can you please help me? My spirit guides, can you please help me to remember my dreams? Please help me to remember my dreams and help me to interpret them because I was having some kind of block going on. This is like back a while ago that I wasn't dreaming for a while. And it was helping me. It was helping me remember my dreams. So it's not that you're not dreaming because you are dreaming when you're sleeping. If you're having there's some type of block going on. And, if you pray that prayer, it should help you have dream recall and, have a pen and paper in the side of your bed and you write them down. And you're going to be fascinated over time that you're going to see some repeated messages. You're going to see like you're going to see repeated stuff coming up for you. And it's
Mm-hmm.
going to be stuff that they want you to know.
Right.
It's really fascinating, really, really fascinating.
Have you ever experienced an out of body experience?
I would say I've had an out of body experience, but I have had some wacky nightmares and stuff where I felt it could have been astral projection. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
100% sure what exactly happened to me, but I was having some really wicked nightmares, and one of the things that I was doing at the time is, I told you I was in different Facebook groups developing as a psychic. Um, some of the readings that I was doing were like dark. As one woman, she had a spirit attached to her, and I could see it. I could see she had a spirit attached to her, and
Mm-hmm.
I told her, I said, things that I was telling her, she was telling me that I was right on, that there was cold spots in her house, and I was picking up on that. She felt like she was being watched, and there's a lot of other stuff that was going on, and I felt that there was something very negative attached to her that was trying to possess her. And that night when I went to bed, I had the freakiest nightmare. I'm telling you, it was freaky. And then I had a few other nightmares after that. I mean, I was woken up in the middle of the night, and one of those nightmares, I was actually lifted up to the ceiling,
Mm-hmm.
and I was saying like, "Show yourself. I know that you're here." I was speaking to it. And I'm telling you that felt almost like a spiritual attack, and I really believe that's what that was. As some people might say, oh, it could have been an astral out of your body thing, but I have to tell you, it was absolutely terrifying. It was really, really terrifying. That was one time that I actually saged my house and I did holy water. And I stayed away. I said, you know what? I'm going to stay away from doing these kind of dark readings with people that I see something attached to them. You know,
Mm-hmm.
um, I I stayed away from doing that. Yeah, that's not my thing.
Right. Now,
Uh,
before we go on, Virginia, I have to say I forgot to tell you at the beginning of the show. Um,
mhm.
my show, Nike does not, advertise for my show. You got a Nike sweatshirt on, so that's my fault. We're because Nike might think we're doing some advertising for them. You know what I mean?
Oh my
But I
God.
but I do need to say that
Wait,
I want to. I
how's,
want to.
how's, how's that
There
better?
you go. That's better. You can't say it.
That's better.
But I want to thank Carnation for sponsoring my show. Thank you, Carnation. Lisa Haynes says Lisa used to be able to astral project, and she has had once or twice. And for the longest time, myself, I,
Pretty
I
cool.
have I have astral planed. Okay. And when I go out of my body, I don't like doing it, but it just happens. Um, Everything is black and white for me. You know what I mean? Everything's black and white. I
That's
see
amazing.
faces in the wall. Yeah,
Wow.
I see faces in the wall. I see strangers, roaming around my room, and I'm thinking, man, this ain't cool. But
I have had that happen when I was younger a lot. I had, where I was up on the ceiling or like flying, I was flying like flying in the sky. I had many, many
right.
things like that happen when I was
Hmm.
younger. Not so much as an adult, but I have had like I said, some kind of crazy nightmares where I was, up on my ceiling, you know, and
Hmm.
it was pretty, pretty crazy, and I felt like there was something dark and menacing in my house.
Right.
But that is because
Um.
I really believe that's because I was doing, you know, some readings that there was something attached to another person. I believe that's why that
Hmm.
was happening to me because I am very, very sensitive to energies, positive and negative.
Right.
Um,
Now, Lisa Haynes says that she traveled in cities and galaxies. That is awesome. I never got
wow,
it
that's
that
very
far.
cool.
That would be like really, really cool. But I like to share one
Mhm.
out of astral projection. When I was divorced from my wife, I was living in an apartment. My son stayed over for the night. He was like about 6 or 7 years old. And
Mhm.
so I had a out of body, and I'm sitting on my bed. I'm looking down at my body, and it's like they're sleeping. And then I see my
Mhm.
son. He had an astral projection, came up, gave me a hug, gave
Wow,
me a kiss, and said, "I love you, Dad." And I saw him go back into his body, and I went back into mine.
wow,
Oh
that's pretty
yeah.
incredible.
Oh,
That's
it was
incredible.
extremely incredible. Um,
Yeah, that's
so
pretty cool.
it was, man. And so to me, and this is just me speaking, is that for me is that not all out of body experiences are bad. Do you know what I mean? There's no evil
Oh, sure.
attached to that. Um,
Hmm.
but by the grace of God, for Him protecting me or something like that, and
Absolutely.
but it was interesting. The only thing I do not like about him is how I go back into my body because it really feels weird when you do. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah.
Lisa Haynes
Yeah.
says
I understand that.
she only had one out of body experience and she wasn't scared. That's awesome, Lisa. That's who's Jim? I'm Sean. My name's not Jim, but that's okay.
They are pretty cool. They are pretty cool. From what I remember,
Hmm.
having those experiences. I have had premonition dreams before. Not many, but I have had a few, and some of them were like, you
It's
know,
okay, Lisa. Not a problem, sweetheart. Not a problem at all. Maybe I should change my name to Jim. I don't know. It's all good, Lisa. It's all good. Yeah, so that's okay. But so how have you planned on when you start your YouTube channel?
mhm.
What are you going to be talking about? It.
I'm going to be talking about a lot of different subjects. The power of prayer is one of them. Um, I shared a couple of stories on there already about the power of prayer. We don't talk enough about how supernatural prayers are. Prayers are so supernatural. I have so many stories about things that I prayed about and that, came into fruition, you know, incredible things. And I really think with what's going on in the world, people need to be uplifted. People need to be encouraged, and I talk about a lot about affirmations and the power of positive thinking. That's another thing, because what I say is what you think, what you believe, what you say about yourself becomes a reality. If you're walking around thinking that you're not going to do anything with your life and you're just beating yourself up, you're going to go around in a circle of like not going anywhere. That's exactly what's going to happen to you. So you have to start speaking very positive and thinking positive. And if you have a negative thought, try to correct that. And people need to really be very conscious, very conscious, become consciously aware. And they could do that by praying and meditating. So prayer is communication to God or the universe or whatever it is that you're talking to. And then meditation is listening, opening up, So it's a two-part process. And,
Right.
the more positive that you talk and think and do, and there's also, action involved is taking steps into how I'm going to make my life better. Wake up every day and say, what can I do today to make today better? You know, and maybe it's doing something, stepping out of yourself to help somebody else. A lot of people are going through a depression, and people are having really tough times right now. And there's always someone who has it worse than you. You know, there was a time where when I was depressed and I having a crazy day and I saw somebody, and I'll tell you, it humbles me every time if I see somebody in a wheelchair, if I see somebody paralyzed, if I see, anybody who's suffering, I always connect to that, and it humbles me to the core. Where if I feel, if I'm complaining or I feel that my life is rough, God puts me in check very, very quickly and humbles me and shows me something like that. And I get it right away. And I say, wow, I could be that person. I could be having that kind of life. And I say, thank you, God, that, you're opening my eyes, that you're helping me see that I'm very blessed, and I could help people in any way I can. Maybe it's just giving somebody a smile, opening the door for them, letting somebody go ahead of you in a line. This
Yeah.
it doesn't always have to be financial ways and things like that. Taking a phone call, speaking to a friend, reaching out to somebody that you know is going through a hard time, and extending your friendship to them. Hey, I haven't heard from you in a long time, just checking on you, because
Hmm.
you never know, a small gesture like doing something like that could really make somebody's day. It
Right.
really can. Something like that could change the whole course of somebody's day by just letting them know, hey, I was thinking about you. How are you? And I hope that you're doing well, and sending positive energy to people.
Well,
Energy is so powerful.
Lisa
Energy.
Haynes been dealing with lead in her home.
Oh,
Slumlords
wow.
try to get out of it. I guess have a lawyer now, thanks to my son. And then she says
Wow.
lead and mold is no joke. So I think you should we could send her
Wow.
send her some prayers. You know what I mean? Send her some energy or something.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
That is
absolutely.
that is very serious. That sounds like a lawsuit. That's what that sounds like, you know?
Right.
Um, Sounds like you may want to do that because that's very, very serious, because the health effects that mold and lead can have on you, it is no joke. It could affect you neurologically. It's not good. Definitely not good. I'm so, so sorry to hear that. And you are in my thoughts and prayers, Lisa Haynes. For sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. If you could, um, share a little experience to somebody who actually wants to start learning how to read? Can you give a little uh, um, explanation of some sort?
Sure. One thing that they could do, I started out with tarot. They don't have to start out that way. They don't have to start out with tarot. But tarot is one way of opening the door. That's opening the intention of that. And I mean, tarot, you can read it and you can study it, and it'll only get you so far. But when I started to do tarot, after a while, I started to hear things before I threw the card out. Like I
Hmm.
would hear what the card was before the card came out, and I would feel, I would whatever the person. We all have different psychic gifts, right? Some people would just, they could be gut intuitive. They could have the clear feeling, clear sentience. They could build on that. So,
All
they
right.
could work on picture reading. They could look at somebody's photo and get permission to use it.
Hmm.
And what do you feel about that person? Tap into that, what it is that you're feeling. What are your feelings? Do you feel that that person is, are they a happy person? Is this person, maybe they joke around and laugh? Is this person, you have to really look, when you're looking at the photo, you have to connect with the eyes. When you connect with the eyes are the window of the soul, and you can call onto your guides, connect, if you believe in God or whatever it is that you believe in, connect to, or the universe, whatever it is, ask for help. Help me to read this photo. Get a pen and paper and do what's called a channeled writing, is calling onto your guides, or, like I said, whatever it is that you believe in, and ask for help. Help me to read this person and try to connect to the energy, what you're feeling from the photo, whatever feelings that you're picking up on. And you can't second guess. Here's the thing about developing psychically. You're going to make mistakes. You might make mistakes. And then for certain, some of the things you may pick up may be dead on, and then some of the things may be off. You just can't give up. If somebody really wants to develop, they just have to stick with it and trust whatever they get, whether it's right or wrong, left, up, down, whatever. Write it down, and eventually, after a while, you're just going to keep on hitting on stuff. It's like a muscle. It's like anything else. If you have a weak muscle and you work it out, your muscle will get stronger. That's the same thing with the psychic muscle and mediumship. Over time, if you develop psychically, the mediumship can come in after. You connect to spirit like that. Or sometimes that could happen really fast. If you invite spirit in, you say, Spirit, I invite you in. Be careful what you ask for, though. This is what I say. You have to really be ready when you open yourself up to spirit. So if somebody is like a little nervous about that, they don't want to jump all the way in. It's like somebody who's learning how to swim. You don't want to just dive into the pool like that. You want to, start out slow steps, get yourself kind of used to what it is that you're seeing, because you could be picking up on all kinds of things. You could be picking up on a suicide. You have no idea what it is that you're going to pick up on a photo. You could tune into somebody's photo and you can hear, it doesn't, you could hear a lot of positive things, but you could also pick up on negative stuff, or struggles with things, people who passed away. You have no idea what it is that you're going to be,
Would you recommend would
coming
you
into.
recommend that beginner to find somebody to, you know, take them under their wing and kind of like show them the way? Because in my past experience, I've noticed people who just jump right into paranormal investigating. Okay,
Well,
they get
they
burned. Oh, there's my buddy
they
from Australia.
they could find a development group. They could find a psychic circle or development group online, and find one that. And here's the thing: if you're delivering messages to people, this is what I say. You really have to do it with the utmost tender, loving care. I just remember TLC. You have to use the most TLC possible when delivering messages to people, because they're very sensitive subjects that could come up. For example, if you're picking up on somebody, who committed suicide. You do not want to say the graphic nature that, if you're seeing this person hung themselves, you don't want to tell the person, well, I'm seeing a person, he's hanging in the closet. You don't want to say that. You have to really cushion the blow of what it is that you're delivering to people
Hmm.
and use a lot of tender loving care when you're giving a reading. And you
So
could I said, pray a prayer before you get into doing a reading, and ask for divine help, and ask for to help them, to help you fine tune and deliver messages with a lot of tender loving care. And
thank you,
over
Elsa.
time, when somebody's getting into doing readings, it gets better as they go along. They're going to make mistakes, that is for certain. You'll go back and say, wow, I could have said that a little bit better. Your higher self is going to tell you,
Okay.
I could have worded that a little bit better. I could have smoothed that over a little bit. And you will learn as you go along how to get better.
Well,
It's
my
a skill.
friend Elsa Dillon, she's from Australia or New Zealand, one or the other, and
Oh,
she
thank you very
says,
much. Appreciate
great
it.
words shared by Virginia, step by step. Totally agree. Take practice indeed. Yes, son,
I
it can
really
put them
appreciate that.
totally duty of care. Oh yeah, Elsa's cool as hell,
Yeah,
man. I like her. I mean, I really do
yeah.
like her. But it's just to me when it comes down, I'd like to tell people, especially in the
Mhm.
paranormal investigation, uh, especially when they
Yeah,
want to start out, that they really need to go with somebody to kind of like show them the ropes, stuff like
yeah.
that. And
I will say, I have seen it all in the readings that I've done. I mentioned hanging. I've seen somebody who was hung. I saw a little girl hanging in the closet,
right,
hanging in the closet. And what I was told, what she told me during that reading, the little girl told me that after she did it, she regretted it. It was like she had this kind of like, forgive me, there's no other better way to say it, but like a brain fart or like a hiccup. She felt a
hmm,
little jealous of the other siblings, and she felt like she was being left out. She had like a crazy thought, like, I'm just going to go kill myself. It's a terrible
right,
thing to say it bluntly like that. I did not deliver it that way to the person who was hearing it, by the way. I really cushioned that whole message there, but I was seeing it
okay.
for what it was, and yeah.
Well, we're
Um,
getting close to the witching hour here, my friend.
mhm.
Is there any last word you would like to tell to the people all over the world and who is listening to the show in the United States and here in the chat room?
Yes, what I'd say to people is, whatever you're going through, please don't give up hope. There's always hope. And please, whatever it is that you believe in, connect to that source, because our guides, your guides, whether it is God, whatever it is that you believe in, is there to help you. You have loved ones that have crossed over, that are watching over you, whether you believe it or not. Uh, but they are there to help you and guide you. And, sometimes people need to get more connected, whether, it doesn't matter. I was a Catholic at one time, then I became a Christian. Now I'm more spiritual. So I've had a lot of experiences, and I've had supernatural stuff happen to me with being a Catholic, same with being a Christian, and same with being spiritual. So I've had it, with all three. And it doesn't, I'm telling you, God does not judge, and the source does not judge whatever it is that you
It's
choose
true.
to do. But
How
people
can
should get connected to whatever it is that find something to believe in if you don't believe in something.
and they
You know,
can so they can connect with you on Facebook in your group, YouTube.
people can find me on Facebook. They could also email me at Virginia Lanigan
Thank
at
you, Elsa.
gmail.com if they want to email me, if they're interested in a reading. They could do that, and they could find me on YouTube. Virginia's Seeing Through the Veil. And I will
Awesome.
be
You got to
doing
go to this YouTube
weekly
channel.
videos.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you what, she's a good girl, man. She has some good stuff what she puts out on her YouTube. But Virginia, we
Thank you very
really
much.
need to get going because I got to pull these cards. Um,
Okay.
Thank you very much for being on the show tonight. You did a
Thank you so
wonderful
much for
job.
having me.
Oh
Sean, I
man,
love you. You're such a great guy. He's the
thank you
sweetest
so
guy
much.
ever.
I'm
Do your part.
blushing right now. See the blushing? I'm blushing.
You're a
All
great guy.
righty. Thank you, Virginia. Okay, guys, you know the deal. This is Sunday night, and I draw. Lisa Haynes says, "Thank you, Virginia." And
I'm very
okay,
welcome.
so
Very
this is
welcome.
Sunday night, and this is where I draw the three animal spirit cards. Thank you, Lisa. And so remember, as I've been doing this for a long time, I'm going to draw three cards. The first card I draw is going to be your past card. The second one I draw will be your now card. And the third one is going to be your future. So, what I need you to do, everybody, is I'm going to pull these cards, they're animals, medicine cards, write them down, and after the show, go Google them and see if they pertain to your life today. So, the first card I pulled, good one. This is your past card. It's the crow. Okay, here we go. This is the crow. So that's your past card. The now card, wow, look at this. Two birds in a row. The blue heron. I think we had that last week. I'm not sure. Yeah. And your future card is the moose. So
Great.
we have the crow as your past, the blue heron as the now, and the moose for your future. Again, Virginia, thank you for coming on tonight.
My
Children,
pleasure.
children, if you
My
can,
pleasure. Thank you so
please.
much for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. Um, Children, if you can, please go to your parents, give them a hug, and tell them that you love them. And parents, please go to your children, give them a hug, tell them that you love them, because those three words, I love you, go a long way. And if you don't have any children, if you
Absolutely.
don't have any parents, please
Yeah.
go see, find somebody to give them a hug. And if you see somebody
Yeah.
hurting, just sit with them. Just sit with them and talk with them if they want to be taught. On that note, thank you for coming in, listening to the show. Um, my Tuesday night we're going to have a show. We're going to have a paranormal investigator, and I will tell. She's a good girl. She's a good girl too. So please stop by Tuesday night here on UPRN Talk Radio 105.3,
I'll be
Mississippi
stopping in.
107.7, New Orleans. And we love you too, Elsa. It's good to see you. It really, really is.
Oh,
And on
thank you
that
so
note,
much.
good night,
Very sweet.
Virginia. Good night,
Good night.
everybody.
Good night,
And
guys.
see you next week. No, Tuesday. Tuesday.